Council present. Good morning. First of all, let me commend the students and the teachers for the examinations well done. I think as we released this morning, we are releasing an exam that was done by students who gave their time, who gave their energy, and even the teachers who took the students through the process for quite a long time, that is 4 years. Two, I also want to commend the Examination Council, especially on the fanfare, that the exams now are actually not a do or die. That every child who will get results today, whether he gets a D+, whether he gets an A, that is a Kenyan who has a place in the society. And as we move forward, I want to also say that as a country, we really need to come out very clearly on where we are going to place each and every person who has done an exam. Now we'll get the A students, we'll get the B student, we'll get the E student. All these students are going to have a place. And I want to say that this is the time when we will need to look into other areas, more so the areas of TVET. And I know the PS is here. Majority of us, we need to tell these students that they have a place to go. And now, as the country, we are moving into CBC. CBC, as you all know, is competency-based. It is not now meritocracy, where we are saying who got one, who got two. We want to see the skills. We want to see what one can do and earn a living. So I want to say that as a country, we are going to assist the Minister of Education, more so Waziri, to make sure that you succeed. And the only way you will succeed is to ensure that every child, whether in grade 7, 8, and 9, or in Form 1, 2, 3, and 4, has a place to do in the society. Lastly, I also want to say that we saw in the media when we had issues of examiners complaining. Maybe this is the time to look into their welfare and to look out what is actually happening in those examination centers, so that they will also mark and feel happy and feel part and parcel of this particular country. So with those very few remarks, I want to wish everyone who will get results well. I want to tell the students that whether you will get a C, whether you will get a D, whether you will get an A, you are all equal and you can make your life better depending on what you do yourselves with. Thank you so much and God bless you. Asante.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa. It's now my humble duty and pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary to address the nation and be able to do that which he must do today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, PS. The Chairman of the Education Committee and the Research, Mheshimiwa Julius Mary, my Principal Secretary is present here, the Principal Secretary for PESIC, Dr. Perio Kipsang, Principal Secretary for TVET, Esther Moharia, and the Principal Secretary, Higher Education and Research, Beatrice Nyangara, the Chairman of NEC, the Chairman, the Teacher Service Commission CEO, NEC CEO, and the members of the Council, members of the press, and all officers present here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for assembling here this morning for this exercise of releasing the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education Examination results. We have found it wise to release the results early to allow our 881,416 candidates who concluded the examinations on the eve of Christmas Day on December 23rd, 2022 to join various higher learning institutions to pursue careers as the year 2023 begins. This creditable achievement in the marking process couldn't have been possible here if a number of people did not sacrifice, and of course a number who worked hard, thousands of teachers, who became heroes in the process, many of whom applied, many of whom had to forego the festive season activities to report to the 35 marking centers. I wish to thank them and really to celebrate these teachers and the hundreds of security personnel officers and the Kenya National Examination Council officers who put all their hands on the deck to ensure a speedy conclusion of the marking process. The timely conclusion of the marking process is indeed a confirmation that the Council is always prepared to defy any challenge to ensure the exercise is not interrupted. I have in mind the hiccup that was recorded at one of the centers where a few examination officials threatened to derail. The NEC was, however, able to respond with an unfettered precision that ensured a seamless progression of the exercise. On this note, I wish to urge our professionals who are usually engaged in national exercises like participating in the administration of national examinations to put the interest of the nation first and look at the merits of engaging in certain activities that could otherwise plunge the lives of our youngsters into irredeemable turmoil. But again, at this point, I want to assure our examiners that they did a commendable job in all the centers. Of course, this was a very small hiccup that we did encounter, and going forward, we are very much concerned, Honorable Chairman of the subcommittee of the Committee of Education, that their welfare and indeed even their remuneration will be improved as we move forward. Today marks the end of a 2-month holiday for our basic education learners. On Monday, schools will open for the first time of the year as we finally mark the start of our traditional regular calendar year. On this, I wish to thank all stakeholders, including teachers and parents, who battled all the bottlenecks that were laid on our academic roads by the COVID-19. Thanks to God the Almighty, we have successfully regained our school terms. Undoubtedly, this recovery puts our education sector on a comfortable gradient upon which to deliver on the many reforms lined up under the Kenya Kwanza Education Charter. The new wave of education reforms currently underway are hinged on the recommendations of the Presidential Working Party on education reforms that was formed by His Excellency President Samuel Ruto. The foremost offshoot of the first interim report of the Presidential Working Party on education reforms was the domiciling of the junior secondary school education in existing primary schools as directed by President William Ruto. Since then, the ministry has moved to provide interim guidelines on the junior secondary school education, including the announcement I made this week that grade 7 runners will report their respective schools on January 30th, 2023. Additionally, I also announced that the government will spend 9.6 billion on capitation grants to runners of junior secondary school for term 1 and term 2 of 2023, with each of them receiving an individual capitation of 15,000 per year. In the next financial year, the government will spend 18 billion for the junior secondary school runners capitation grants. Further to this, I now wish to state that of the 15,000 that will be released for each runner, 4,000 will be spent on the development of infrastructure, with the greatest priority being on reparatories. And here I want to assure Kenyans that indeed we are working very closely with members of parliament and chairman of the Committee on Education. I want to thank you for the initiative you have taken, such that as we give the 4,000 out of the 15,000 for building reparatories, I'm aware that the members of parliament will also be able to set aside money out of CDF so that we are able to embark and ensure that we put up preparatory this year. I'm also happy that going forward, probably by next week, we will be able to make an announcement because we are negotiating with the World Bank where they will be able to give us some funds to put up about 7,000 also laboratories countrywide, such that as far as infrastructure is concerned, we will be ready to go. Further to the guidelines, I announced it last week. I wish to announce that the President this morning accepted the Ministry's interim guidelines, including the following. The Board of Management of a primary school that domiciles the junior secondary school will constitute a special subcommittee to spearhead the management of education and the resources of the school. The head of the primary school that domiciles the junior secondary school will serve as a secretary, while the chairperson will be a member of the committee. All private junior secondary schools will establish and operationalize board of management, boards of directors, or boards of trustees in accordance with Section 52A of the Basic Education Act 2013. A public junior secondary school will be headed by the head teacher of the public primary school that domiciles it during the interim period of the transition ending December 30th, 2023. The Ministry of Education has re-engineered the National Education Management Information System, commonly known as NEMIS, in readiness for enhancement of management of education data. Registration of runners in NEMIS will form the basis for disbursement of funds to public junior secondary schools, and I want to repeat that anybody who is not captured in NEMIS will not be able to be a beneficiary of the capitation funds, so the head teachers have to ensure that as runners are reporting to schools, they are properly captured in NEMIS. Textbooks and hard copies of the grade 7 curriculum designs will be made available for all schools. That one, we are making sure that all the required textbooks will be delivered the first week as the schools open on 30th. NEC will provide guidelines on the conduct of assessments at the junior secondary school, because as you are aware, we have formative and the normative. Formative now forming about 60%, and this will be a continuous process, and we are happy that what NEC has done so far, there are instruments which are quite objective in measuring the continuous assessment in our junior secondary school. The infrastructure and the resources of existing primary schools will be utilized by the respective domiciled junior secondary school in the interim 1 year of transition. This applies to special needs junior secondary school as well. The Ministry of Education, through the Kenya Education Management Institute, has developed a curriculum and training materials to build the capacity of education managers, including junior secondary school management boards and the school heads, on governance and accountability in the leadership of junior secondary school. The curriculum will also apply during the induction of the school heads on institutional and instructional leadership. Comprehensive guidelines will be issued to schools in a circular to be released by my ministry next week. These guidelines have been validated by stakeholders to spell out the general provisions to be adopted by institutions, organizations, and stakeholders in order to fast-track operationalization of junior secondary school across the 1 year transitional period. The guidelines are interim while awaiting the full report of the Presidential Working Party, which is expected towards the end of March. I wish to thank my cabinet colleagues, Professor Kithure Kindiki and Honorable Owaro, who head the Ministry of Interior and Administration of National Government and ICT respectively, for working with the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders to ensure success in the administration of the Kcse examination of 2022. Most of you by now know that President William Samoei Ruto is a firm believer of the TVET education. I therefore wish to urge all the stakeholders in this sector to rise up and be counted as we institute far-reaching reforms in the sector as could be recommended by the Presidential Working Party. My Principal Secretary for TVET and the semi-autonomous agencies in my ministry, including the Kenya National Qualification Authority and the Kenya universities and the colleges Central Placement Service, must prepare to work to ensure that the agenda of TVET remains robust and able to spur the economy of Kenya through the production of a well-trained youth. I therefore direct the Kenya universities and the colleges Central Placement Service to move with speed and establish the number of places available in our universities, colleges, and the TVET institutions to enable the immediate commencement of the placement exercise. And as I'm going to say shortly, the numbers that we have this year for university, I think all our public universities will be able to get enough students as well as our private universities. And we also have a good number that our TVET institutions will be able to admit. The placement service should also engage with the higher education regulatory boards, Commission for University Education, and the Technical and Vocational Education and the Training Authority to ensure that all learning institutions are prepared to enroll new students. This is in line with providing fair and parents access to quality and relevant higher education and the training and the government policy of 100% transition. I also wish to announce that the government is keen to ensure that the credibility and authenticity of qualifications and certificates that we get from our education and the training institutions remain of a high quality. To that end, we have developed a system for articulation, classification, registration, and accreditation and quality assurance of national qualifications. I hereby directed the Kenya National Qualification Authority to ensure that the national qualification framework is fully implemented, as this will ensure and enhance the quality, relevance, and authenticity of qualifications, not just locally but globally. This will also promote portability of our qualifications and the mobility of labor. So far as you know, our education standards in the region and even globally are among the best as it can be compared with others. Finally, on this point, I declare that all the candidates who sat the Kcse examination in 2022 have already avenues to progress to other levels of education as we seek to leave no runner behind in career development. All these candidates have a destiny, and the government is determined to clear the path for them to reach that destiny. As I have already stated, 881,416 candidates sat the 2022 Kcse examinations, compared with 826,807 candidates in 2021. This represented an increase of 54,609 candidates, that being 6.60%. Of the total number of candidates that sat the 2022 Kcse examination, 443,644 were male, while 437,772 were female, representing 50.33% and 49.69% of the total candidature, respectively. This statistic means the country has achieved gender parity in much the same way as we have done at the primary school level. 14 counties had more male than female candidates in the 2022 Kcse examination compared to 17 counties in 2021. These were Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, Turkana, Samburu, West Pokot, Kajiado, Narok, Homa Bay, Migori, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. 17 counties with high gender disparity in favor of female candidates during the 2022 Kcse examinations included Kirinyaga, Kiambu, Kitui, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Vihiga, and Kisumu. In the 2022 Kcse examination, 17 subjects recorded a significant improvement in performance compared with 11 subjects that recorded a significant improvement in performance in 2021. There was no significant change in performance in 4 of the subjects over during the 2022 Kcse examination. There were 1,146, making 0.13% candidates who obtained an overall A grade in the 2022 examinations compared with 1,138, which was 0.14% candidates in 2021. On the other hand, the number of candidates with minimum university entry qualification of grade C plus and above has risen to 173,345, forming 19.03% in the year 2022 Kcse examination compared to 145,776, which was 17.55% in 2021. The number of candidates with mean grade D plus and above in the 2022 Kcse examination is 522,588, which is 59.14% compared with 442,251, which was 53.29% in 2021. Encouragingly, the number of candidates obtaining a mean grade of E declined significantly to 30,822, which is only 3.49%, despite the increase in candidature, compared with 46,151, which was 5.56% in 2022. This clearly leads us to conclude that most of the candidates scored grades of higher quality. Most significantly, all the remaining candidates are eligible to join TVET institutions, teacher training colleges, medical training colleges, and other tertiary learning institutions for various courses. The breakdown for the various grades is as follows. A, female, we have 271 getting an A. Male, we have 875. A minus, 1,962 female. Male, 4,445. B plus, we have female, 6,104. Male, 9,578. B grade, female 13,520, male 17,783, P minus 21,474, that is female, male 27,245, C plus we have 33,138 female, while male we have 36,950, which means that the male in this particular category have done better, and I hope going forward the female will also be able to improve so that at least we have some kind of balance. C, female, we have 49,191. Male, we have 45,9 963. In this particular one, female have done better than their male counterparts. C minus, again, female 62,599, male 56,469. Again here, female have done better than men. D plus, we have female 70,238. Male, we have 64,783. Again here, female have done better than male. D, we have 79,935 female, 75,545 male. D minus, we have female 84,075, male 83,683. E, female, we have 12,760, male 18,062. There were 190 candidates, that is 8.80% with special needs, who obtained an overall grade C plus and above in a 2022 Kcse examination. Candidates will correct their results from their respective examination centers. Individual candidate results can also be accessed by sending a candidate's index number followed by the initials Kcse through a short message service SMS to number 20076. I repeat again, you write Kcse and then your index number, and then you send it to number 20076, and you will be able to access your result of the Kcse examination immediately after this. It is now my humble duty and privilege to declare the 2022 Kcse examination results officially released. I wish all the candidates success in their future endeavor. Thank you, and God bless you. Now, yes. Thank you, Chairman.
The other side.
Members of the media, in case anybody with one question, I normally like an interactive process, but because from here again, I'm moving to West Pokot for a function, can we have only one question in case there is? Only one.
My name is Francis Ode from Every TV. I just wanted to highlight if there were malpractices and cases of cheating. What are you going to do about those results?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to report and very happy about it. When we were preparing for this exam this year, we did come up with a mechanism, and the mechanism that we came up with that was that accountability was transferred to the personal level, such that as we were giving a brief to all those who were concerned with the administration of the exam at the headquarters in South Sea, we said the center manager will be personally accountable if any irregularities were discovered. And then we also designed a form for the security personnel to be able to sign confirming that all went well, or in the case of anything that never went on well, during that particular day, they were to indicate that probably there was something that never went well, including the supervisors and invigilators. And what we did, changing the system a little bit, I'm happy to report that we really did not experience the kind of cheating, the kind of malpractices that we used to get there before. So I want to thank the Kenya National Examination Council and those who were concerned, all those who were concerned in the administration of the exam, because so far it went on very well. We also got a partnership. We worked very closely with the ICT ministry, so that anybody who was trying to use technology in any kind of cheating, we were able to discover that in good time. So we never experienced the kind of experience we used to get there before. No numbers for now. No numbers. So.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary. The program is tight, as indicated, and I will now invite Madam Melda Baraza to make an announcement and vote of thanks in 3 sentences. Karibu, Director.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to take the shortest time possible. Allow me to thank each one of you for gracing our occasion, and allow me to also thank you for availing yourselves whenever we call you within a short time of notice. So allow me to appreciate that you have a busy schedule today. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. And we want to appreciate the information we've been given and wish all the 2023 candidates a bright future as they receive their results. Announcements: we'll be dispatching the exam Directors of Education. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Be blessed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Kama Stima na Maji, Rita Ndambuki, please offer the closing prayer. Before she does that, if you allow, CS, to get your results, you will send an SMS. Include your full index, that is 11 digits, followed by the initial Kcse, and send this to 20076. Your full index number, the 11 digits, Kcse, send to 20076. The closing prayer.
We can stand for the word of prayer. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this opportunity you've given us to be able to witness this release of the 2022 Kcse results. We thank you because you enabled us. You gave us the energy for each and everybody who participated in this exercise. Lord, we won't forget our invigilators, supervisors, security center managers, and even center organizers and all who are involved. It is such a wonderful opportunity to serve the children of this nation. We do therefore give you glory and honor. As we embark on the preparations of the 2023 examinations, Lord, make them even better. We thank you, we give you all the praise and the glory. For this is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
And now is my duty.